Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm Amy, and today we're making one of the best breakfast options ever. Or it's one of the best if you love sweet and yummy desserts for breakfast anyway. They're soft and chewy, sweet and warm, and they just make me happy. Plus, we can't let Cinnabon have all the fun. So today we're making some gorgeous and delicious cinnamon rolls completely from scratch. So let's get cooking. To start, we need to activate our yeast. Pour 1 cup of warm milk into a stand mixer bowl. We want this to be between 110 and 115 degrees. Add 5 tablespoons of granulated sugar and 1 packet or 2 1/4 teaspoons of active dry yeast. Whisk this together until the sugar is melted and the yeast is mixed into the milk. Then let it sit until the yeast gets foamy, which should take about 5 to 10 minutes at the most. You can use instant yeast as well for this, and then you won't have to activate the yeast. And yes, the bread will proof quicker, but I prefer the longer proof with the active dry yeast because the dough has a deeper, more complex flavor profile that's due to that longer proofing time. When the yeast is all foamy and activated, we can add the other dough ingredients. We need 4 2/3 cups of all-purpose flour, a 1/3 cup of packed brown sugar, a 1/2 cup or 1 stick of melted butter, 1 room temperature egg, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, and 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt. Now, if you use salted butter, reduce the salt by 1/4 teaspoon. Last is 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Start mixing this on a low speed with the dough hook attachment, and then turn the speed up 1 or 2 notches to medium-low, and then let that mixer knead the dough for 8 to 10 minutes. The dough should be tacky, but not sticky at all, and very, very soft. When the dough's ready, oil a large bowl. It doesn't need to be a lot, just a light coating of oil. Turn the dough into the oiled bowl and kind of roll it around so it gets a thin coating of oil to prevent it from drying out. Cover it and then sit it in a warm place to rise until it doubles in size, which can take up to 2 hours, although using instant yeast will shorten this time. So if you use instant yeast, I would recommend checking it about an hour into the proofing time. While the dough is proofing, let's grab a small bowl and add in a 1/2 cup of brown sugar and 1 1/2 tablespoons of ground cinnamon. Stir this up until they're evenly combined, and that's the sprinkle part of the filling. We also need to grease a 9 by 13 baking pan. You can use oil or butter to grease the pan, but I really love the added flavor of using butter for cinnamon rolls. When the dough is ready and it's doubled in size, turn it out onto a well-floured surface and shape it roughly into a log type of a shape, so it's easier to roll out. Then roll this until it's roughly a 12 by 24 inch rectangle. We do need to be kind of gentle because this dough is very soft and it rolls out really easily. When it's all rolled out, we need 6 tablespoons of very soft butter. Spread this butter onto the dough, but leave a little bit, maybe like a 1/2 inch of unbuttered space on one of the long sides of the rectangle. I put the unbuttered edge at the top because it works well when we roll this up. Again though, this dough is ultra soft, so the butter needs to be really, really spreadable because if it's firm at all, it'll go straight through the dough and that would be really sad. Now grab the little sugar and cinnamon bowl we mixed up earlier and sprinkle this as evenly as you can all over the butter. It may look like a lot, but it's actually the perfect amount when everything is rolled and baked. Now our next step is to make our rolls. Starting at the end opposite of that unbuttered edge, gently start rolling this concoction into a log. Try and get the roll as tight as possible without crushing the dough. We just want to avoid having air pockets in the roll. Now it's time to cut the rolls. First, measure out the rolls so you have 12, which should be about 2 inches each, and make a little mark on top of the dough. Now, the most important thing is to not crush the roll. If you have a very, very sharp serrated knife, you could use that, but the easiest and most effective way to cut up cinnamon rolls is with unflavored dental floss. Lift the dough and position the dental floss under the mark. Cross the ends over the dough and then pull the opposite ends apart to slice quickly through the cinnamon roll without crushing it. Essentially, just garrote the dough log until you have 12 cinnamon rolls. Place each roll in the buttered 9 by 13 pan, but space them out evenly to give them plenty of room. They'll look a little sad right now, and there will be a lot of empty space in the pan, but that's exactly what we want. Cover the pan and sit it in a warm spot to rise again until those rolls double in size. This can take about 60 to 90 minutes again for active dry yeast and about half that for the instant yeast. While those rolls proof again, preheat the oven to 350 and make sure your oven rack is in that middle position. When the rolls are ready, and you can see here that they have filled out beautifully and there's nowhere near as much open space in the pan, bake these for 20 to 25 minutes or until the tops are lightly browned. Now while those are making, we need to make our icing. Frosting, glaze, yeah, the amazing topping that's possibly the best part. In a large bowl, add 4 ounces of cream cheese, or half a block, 2 tablespoons of softened butter, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and a pinch of salt. Using a hand mixer or a whisk, whip these together till they're nice and creamy and there are no blobs of cream cheese rolling around anymore. Now add 1 cup of powdered sugar and mix that in well, starting at a low speed to prevent sugar mushroom clouds. If your mixture looks a little thick for your taste like mine did, add a tablespoon of milk and that'll thin it out a little. When that cup of sugar and milk is mixed well, add the 2nd cup of powdered sugar and mix that in as well until everything is nice and creamy again. If it looks a little thick again, add another half to another full tablespoon of milk until you get a good consistency. When everything's done, the frosting should be smooth and spreadable and beautiful. After 20 to 25 minutes and the cinnamon rolls are lightly browned, remove them from the oven and immediately spread about 1/3 of the frosting all over the tops and any sides that are showing while the rolls are nice and hot. This will prevent them from drying out and the frosting is going to melt into the rolls. Give them about 5 minutes and then spread the rest. I used every last little bit of the frosting, but if you're not as big of a fan, you may get to the point where you're thinking there's just too much frosting. Just go until you're happy, because we are all about getting what we want out of our food here. These can be cooled completely and they'll still be delicious, but they're perfect when you serve them nice and warm. Chewy, gooey, soft, and fluffy. I could keep going with the adjectives. They are just delicious, warm and almost caramelly sweet from the brown sugar. Ugh, and that warm cinnamon spice. To reheat these, you can use the microwave, but these are fabulous if you reheat them in the oven or in a toaster oven. Heat them for 3 to 5 minutes at 325 and they'll be just like new. Maybe even better, since the icing is going to melt all over the roll while it reheats and it'll be even gooier, if that's even possible. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please like and subscribe and leave me a comment below. I love reading and responding to comments, and it helps my channel to grow. Stay tuned on Wednesdays for fun recipes from popular movies, TV shows, and video games. We're making Fallout foods right now since season 2 of the series is currently running, and I just love playing the Fallout games so much. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you back here next Sunday for another cozy, comforting home-cooked meal. Bye!